My name is Sarah Kane. I am in the Animal and Food Science Department of the Davis College, and I study canine olfaction, which is how dogs smell and perceive odors. I have a very unique story, I think, in that I was lucky when I was in high school. I found an organization that trained working dogs, so I really wanted to actually pursue research in this field, and so I got in contact with Dr. Nathan Hall, who's here at Tech, and I became a PhD student here. I was surprised and honored to have received the National Science Foundation Graduate Research Fellowship Program position, and that allows me to do my work here at Texas Tech. I had a lot of really wonderful people help me with that application process, including actually Nathan. Before I even said I would join his lab, he helped me edit it, and I had a lot of other supporters and supervisors also read that over and help me produce a strong application. And getting that award is super meaningful because I'm able to do this research and not worry about my funding. So that just takes a little bit more of the stress off of my plate so I can actually focus on what I'm here to do, which is my research with the dogs. All of our work has a basis in both theory and also application. So while all of our questions are theory-based, how do dogs best learn odor, how do dogs perceive odor, but they also all have application bases as well. So currently I'm on a project that's working with explosives and seeing how best we can teach dogs a large number of different explosives. And then I've also done work with invasive species. So how do we train dogs to detect invasive species, to stop or to eradicate that species in certain areas and slow the spread, so that both that helps economically, because a lot of the invasive species cost a lot of money to detect and to eradicate, and then it also helps preserve our natural ecosystems. Nathan has created an automated odor delivery system called the olfactometer, and this automated olfactometer actually uses an air pump to push air through a closed system and into different vials of different odorants, which are all controlled by a computer system. So we can deliver known concentrations of odorants to dogs of any type of odorant that can fit in a vial. So we have 3 olfactometers, each are set up identically, and each communicate with the computer so that at any one point, only one box is giving the target odor. Or actually, to be honest, we also have trials where there's no target odor and the dog just has to smell the 3 boxes and return to the handler. And so these boxes are all automated, so both that the dog can do trials in quick succession because we have this technology, so we can do 20 trials in 12 minutes, which compared to other methods of collecting this data, which is like you move odor around a room, you can maybe do 10 trials in 20 minutes if you're moving really quickly and you have a lot of help, but one person and one dog can do 20 trials in 12 minutes with this olfactometer. The dogs work through the 3 olfactometers, and you can collect data not just on what the dog thinks is their target, so if they hold a nose alert in the box, because all the boxes have IR beams that are actually reading back to the computer how long the dog is smelling each odorant. It can also tell you how quickly the dog is moving between the boxes and how long it takes the dog to start working the boxes. So you can collect a lot of data in a very short amount of time, which allows us to answer a lot of different questions that maybe other types of lineups or odor detection research won't allow us to answer. I think I just want to say that I'm really grateful that Texas Tech, first of all, has this wonderful lab and opportunity that I have been able to partake in. There are very few dog labs in the country, and also dog odor labs, which is what I'm particularly interested in. So I'm really grateful for that. I'm also really grateful for NSF, or National Science Foundation, for their funding for my research here. And I encourage people to look at our lab, because occasionally, every 6 months or so, we have adoptable dogs that are ready to go home, and they also are trained by our undergraduate students as well to make them better pets at home. And at the end of a project, they are able actually to go home to new adoptive families, and we call this our Train to Adopt program. And one of the dogs that I met in my first semester, I actually just decided to take home because I liked him a lot. And so now I'm lucky enough to be an owner of this wonderful dog, and then I also get to occasionally, if a study calls for it, bring him in, and he gets to still do what he loves most, which is odor work.